Well, good afternoon. Welcome to this special Facebook Live event, The Web of Insurance, sponsored by the Senior Source, which is the one-stop shop for older adults and their loved ones for aging issues in Dallas, as well as the Elder Financial Safety Center, where we make it our mission each and every day to help older adults achieve financial security. I'm so glad you are joining us today. This is revolutionary for me because it's my first live virtual event. So I appreciate you wanting to be part of this conversation with me today. Next slide, please. And so who am I? Well, I'm your host for today's event. My name's Carl Burlbaugh, and I am the Assistant Director for the Elder Financial Safety Center at the Senior Source, and I'm also the Insurance Counselor, a role in which I started back in 2014 when I joined the agency. And I feel what I'm doing as part of this event is really my true calling, and that's to help educate and inform the community. And it took me a while to find this role in life, but it's really been worth it because nothing is more satisfying than when I hear from clients after meeting with them or talking with them on the phone, and they tell me I feel so much better off after having spoken with you, and I feel that I'm ready to move forward and address the issues that I needed help with. And also, I get tremendous support from great teammates that I have here at the Elder Financial Safety Center, including Christina Taylor. She is our senior career coach. She is working behind the scenes today to help this production go as smoothly as possible. And so, Christina, if we can, let's go to our next slide. There we go. So today we are bringing to you the Web of Insurance to recognize National Insurance Awareness Day, which is actually today, June 28th, 2021. Our purpose for today is to make sure you do not get caught in the web of insurance frauds, scams, as well as feeling overwhelmed or intimidated about insurance. Whether you know what questions to ask or who to talk to, because these things can cause a great deal of stress and anxiety. And we want to lessen that stress by helping boost your confidence when it comes to making decisions about insurance. So I thank you for joining this conversation and allowing me to be part of your day. And then one other point I want to make is that insurance is a financial product, meaning that you should take the time to learn about it before you decide to purchase it. As well as if you own insurance, you should take the time to review it and make sure that it's up to date and that it's meeting your current needs and your current lifestyle. And so that's really what this day is all about. And so I think that we can agree this is all good common sense. Next slide. All right, so let's go through the agenda for today's presentation. And these are topics that we'll be covering. It doesn't mean that necessarily that we can't talk about other things, but these are the main points that we're going to try to get to in today's presentation. So first of all, we're going to talk about the purpose of insurance. Then we're going to cover the different types of insurance that I think you should be aware of. We're going to focus on insurance scams. We're going to talk about next steps, and these are going to be takeaways that I want you to leave today's presentation with. And then finally, we'll go over some resources. These are safe places where you can turn to for assistance. And so again, we're going to try to follow this agenda, but please feel free. We do have a chat, and so Christina will be helping me with the chat today, and we'll try to get to questions and just feedback from you following today's main presentation. Next slide. All right, so let's talk about the purpose of insurance, and we're going to talk about the 3 Ps. Number 1, prevention, meaning that you want to try to prevent and avoid financial disaster. That's the number 1 thing as far as insurance goes. Number 2, protection. Protection for yourself, for your loved ones, and for your assets. And then number three, preservation, which means maintaining your status, helping to maintain and preserve the things that you have worked for throughout your life, the things that you have built. That's what insurance is about. Really, it's about buying peace of mind against life and all the unexpected things that can come from that. Next slide. All right, so let's go over the different types of insurance. And these are um, the types of insurance that I think affect older adults the most. First of all, we're going to talk about health. And so let's talk about the factors as far as determining what type of health insurance is appropriate for you. First of all, are you eligible for Medicare based on your age, or maybe you qualify because of a disability? If not, are you eligible for a group health plan, maybe through an employer? And then again, if the answer is no to that, then maybe the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, is right for you. Also, things such as how many doctors are you seeing, and what types of medications are you taking? Are you taking really expensive types of medications? These are things that are factors in determining what type of health insurance is appropriate for you. Now, when it comes to Medicare, Medicare is a conversation all to itself. And I do lots of one-on-one counseling for Medicare. And really, the main questions that people have are, I'm turning 65 and I want to enroll in Medicare. What do I need to do? What steps do I need to take? Or I'm turning 65, I'm still working, I have other insurance in place. So what do I need to do as far as Medicare is concerned? And so those are, again, very valid questions, and those are ones that I deal with when it comes to counseling people one-on-one. And again, I am certainly available following today's presentation to discuss with you if you have specific questions about health insurance and or Medicare. All right, so let's go to our second type of insurance, which is life insurance. And so life insurance, the main question is, what purpose does having life insurance serve? Really, life insurance is about protecting your dependents, those people who are relying on you for their financial well-being. That's really the purpose for life insurance. Now, when it comes to life insurance, there's two main types. There's term, which covers you for a specific period of time, say 10 years or 20 years, and then once it expires, it goes away. The other type of insurance is whole life, which you pay premiums on, and it can accumulate a cash value as you continue to pay the premiums on it. Term policies do not accumulate cash value at all. So those are really the two main types and the differences between them. The question about death benefit is, who is going to be your beneficiary? Who is the person that you are trusting to carry out your wishes once they've received that settlement from your life insurance policy? And then also pre-planned funeral arrangements. If for many people, having life insurance is about covering the cost of your final arrangements or your final expenses. And so what we also make people aware of is that you can, if you know what type of arrangements you want to have, you can purchase a pre-planned funeral arrangement, and it can benefit you in many ways, such as guaranteeing some of the costs that go into planning for a funeral. All right, third type of insurance, property insurance. So question is your property protected? And I think this is where many people can get into trouble because they either are not paying attention to the type of coverage they have, or they're or just not making sure that it's current with their needs as far as their homeowners, auto insurance, as well as renters insurance. So you really want to take the time to review and understand all of the variables that play into this type of insurance. For instance, replacement cost when it comes to your home or your property, the deductibles that you're required to meet if a claim has been issued for you, and as well as things like uninsured drivers, um, knowing what that means exactly. And then really property insurance has a lot to do with liability. If you're in an accident of some type and it's determined that you are at fault and another party suffers a loss, then you are liable for that person's loss. And so it's really important to know what that means, and do you have the type of coverage that's necessary in these types of situations. Also, it's important to know that your credit score and your credit rating plays a part in determining your risk factor and thus affects the cost of insurance. All right, let's talk about our fourth type of insurance, and that's long-term care. Well over 60% of us will need some form of long-term care in our lifetime. And what we're talking about is known as custodial care, or the activities of daily living, which are feeding, dressing, bathing, using the restroom, things like that. When a person is no longer able to perform these functions on their own, this is where long-term care insurance can come into play. It can help cover the cost for this type of need. Um, the the different levels of care that we're talking about here include home health, as well as assisted living and skilled nursing. And this type of care is very expensive, and that's why people have this type of insurance. And so the question becomes, when is the right time to purchase uh, this type of insurance? Because you want to try to avoid having to pay premiums for years on end before becoming eligible for this type of coverage. As far as long-term care insurance goes, the industry has changed quite a bit. Nowadays, you're finding fewer options for standalone long-term care insurance, and what you're seeing is a combination of long-term care insurance and, say, life insurance. It's a hybrid type of coverage. And what this is it's a way to offer a benefit, the death benefit, as well as the long-term care benefit. So if someone's been paying premiums over several years, and suddenly they pass away, well, they're no longer able to get the long-term care coverage, but they can still get the death benefit. So it's a way of recovering some of what you've put in to this type of coverage. And so that's where it's become more appealing for people. All right, next slide, please. All right, now we're going to talk about insurance scams. And what we want to do here is we want to arm you with information so that you do not become a victim to this type of scam, or really any type of financial fraud. And so we're going to focus on this type of insurance scam called ghost broker. Now, this type of scam is emerging in the United States. It's been a common practice in the United Kingdom for several years. And what this is when someone poses as an insurance agent or broker to try to sell cheap but fraudulent insurance policies. And so what happens is they'll apply for insurance, this agent or broker, using your information. They'll keep the premiums, but then they'll cancel the policy shortly thereafter. And so everything seems legitimate until you try and file a claim, and then you find out no policy exists. And so what they do is they try to market and solicit business by use of internet ads, social media, and messaging ads. These ads are targeting you and saying that they're offering very low rates And really, it's the type of situation where you think, wow, it's too good to be true. Well, it actually is. And so the red flags or the things that you want to be aware of are agents advertising cheap rates via social media or messaging apps, agents that are communicating solely via social media or email. They may not have a listed phone number, or it is difficult to contact by phone, or they're difficult just to contact by phone. Beware of agents that are asking for cash only payments or ones that are using cash transfer apps. And then agents who are promising to secure a policy without showing you any type of carrier documentation or allowing you any direct communication with the insurance carrier. These are definite red flags, and so you need to be aware of them. And so if things that you can do to avoid this type of activity, contact your state's insurance department. There you can verify whether or not an agent is current with his state's license, and is he licensed to sell insurance in that state. And you can find this out with the Texas Department of Insurance. Also, do not sign any paperwork or documents until you have verified that the agent is licensed and legitimate. Also, beware of cash payment demands. Do not make any payments until you have confirmed that the agent's license is current. And if you have become a victim of this scam, please file a report with your state insurance's department and also with the Federal Trade Commission. Next slide, please. All right, let's talk about Medicare fraud. And Medicare fraud is something that we've been educating about for a long time. It's an ongoing problem that's affecting all of us, to the tune of $60 billion annually in losses. And this problem has only been exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic. You're seeing examples of people charging for testing, asking for proof of insurance for testing and vaccinations. Anything to do with COVID-19 as far as testing and vaccinations is free, and you should not have to show your proof of insurance or your Medicare ID to get access. All right. Also, we've seen examples of where people have gotten their Medicare statements and they've seen entries for office visits. They've been billed for an office visit when it was really just a COVID-19 test. So this is an example of a way for a provider trying to take advantage of the system and possibly get paid more than what they are being paid for that testing of COVID. You just need to treat your Medicare ID as a credit card. So here's the motto that you need to remember. Protect, number one, protect your personal information as well as your health insurance and or your Medicare ID information. If you detect any inappropriate activity, please make a record of it. And then take that information and you want to report it to the proper authorities. And so again, the motto here is protect, detect, and report. Those are the three things that you need to remember as far as dealing with Medicare fraud as well as other types of health insurance fraud. Next slide, please. All right, so now let's go over what next steps that I want you to have as far as when we're done here today. So number one, review your coverage. This is what today is all about, reviewing your current coverage, making sure that it is appropriate to your needs and your lifestyle, okay? Ask your providers. This means that as far as your health insurance goes, making sure that your doctors and the people that you go to that provide medical services, make sure that they accept the type of health insurance or Medicare insurance that you are on. Because Insurance is only as good as the providers who take it and are willing to accept it. It's not going to do you any good if you're enrolled in a plan, but your doctors are not in that plan. Okay, that means you're then having to scramble to find other providers that will fit with your plan and start all over and develop a new relationship with new providers. So just do your homework and find out from your providers when you're considering a certain type of health insurance or Medicare plan. Seeking unbiased advice. So the Elder Financial Safety Center is a safe place to get unbiased, expert, professional advice, not only about insurance, but about all financial matters. And so again, it, you want to find people that you can trust, people that don't have an agenda, people that are, and I can say this 100%, everyone here at the Elder Financial Safety Center is invested in their clients and their clients' well-being, and that's what you'll find when you come here to the Elder Financial Safety Center. If it sounds too good to be true, then it probably is. So again, we've already mentioned this as far as insurance rates. If you're offered insurance rates that it's so low, it's just too good to be true, then it probably is. And this also goes to when you're getting advice from, say, friends or family. Everybody wants to tell you the great things about what they found out or about their insurance, and that's great. But unless everybody has the same needs, then be wary of whether or not your friend's insurance is going to be right for you, your friend's insurance plan or whatever it may be. Just be wary of that. I'm sure they want to provide you the best information they have, but again, it's a little bit slanted because they're speaking from their perspective. It works for them, doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work for you. And then the final step or takeaway is you are your best advocate. You know your needs better than anyone, and you just need to be able to talk about those needs and express those needs, as well as if you're dealing with whether it's insurance agents, financial planners, contractors, anybody that you're doing business with, you just need to be able to hold them accountable. They are there to serve you. And so you are fine if you're asking questions of them, asking them to document everything, record everything, and then you need to get documentation as far as any time you are dealing with someone in a business situation. Okay, so this is how you are being your best advocate, is looking out for your own needs, asking the right questions, and not being afraid to ask people for certain things, people that are there to serve you. Okay? All right, next slide, please. All right, so finally, I want to give you resources. These are places to connect with, again, information, education, and advocacy. These are all safe places to go. Number one, the Elder Financial Safety Center. We, as I said before, every single day we are about helping our clients achieve financial security. And we continue to do that each and every day, regardless of their income status or where they came from. If you're 50 and older and you have a financial need, then you can come to the Elder Financial Safety Center and get help. Texas Department of Insurance is a great place to verify whether or not an agent is current with his license. And also they give great advice on if you need to file complaints against insurance agents or brokers or companies or anybody who's doing business in the state of Texas. The Texas Department of Insurance is a great place to go specific to an insurance situation. And then finally, Senior Medicare Patrol. So Senior Medicare Patrol, They are the primary resource for Medicare fraud. First of all, they go out and educate the community about what's going on as far as Medicare fraud is concerned. And they're the ones who will educate you on the protect, detect, and report approach, as well as they track this type of information. So they are a reporting agency as well. So if you have information about Medicare fraud, you can go to them and report it. They will take that information and make sure that it gets to the right place. Again, a great resource, and there's a number where you can contact them, Senior Medicare Patrol. And so that concludes the presentation today, the web of insurance. I hope this has been helpful. I see we do have some people that are with us today live. So now I'm going to open this up for any questions, comments, feedback, anything that you might have as far as our presentation goes today. All right, so I can see the chat. You can ask your questions using the chat functions via Facebook Live. I'm just going to take a sip of water here for a moment. Okay, thank you, Erica. Thank you, Erica Sampson. I know I can always count on teammates to be there to support. Never fails when you're part of a great team like the Elder Financial Safety Center. So, anybody want any? This is your time now to ask questions. Does the EFSC offer insurance counseling? Great question. Oh my God, that's the best question of all. Yes, since 2014, the EFSC has offered insurance counseling. We cover health insurance, we cover life insurance, we cover long-term care insurance, home, auto, property, disability, workman's comp, any kind of insurance. You can come here. It's a safe place to discuss it. Oh, here's a comment from a participant, Ina McBride. Thank you, Carl, for all this useful information. After I digested, okay. So she's asking, what is the best method to ask questions later on? Well, you can contact me at there's a phone number. You can see it along the ticker right now, 214-525-6172. And I'm also going to ask Christina if she will put my email address in the ticker. It's cburlbaugh at theseniorsource.org. So my phone number, direct number, 214-525-6172, or my email address, cburlbaugh at theseniorsource.org. Those are the best ways of contacting me for questions, as well as you can also text me at my phone number, 214-525-6172. You can call or text to that number. Let's see, I have a question here in the chat. What are some reputable companies to use for buying long-term care plan? Okay, great question. Reputable companies. I try to be, again, unbiased when it comes to providing referrals for insurance providers. And so what I'll say to that is that you can go to the Texas Department of Insurance, their website. They actually have a list of companies that are licensed to market and sell products here in the state of Texas. So I would defer to that list as far as reputable companies here to deal with. Okay. Let's see. I have another question. I'm 64, turning 65 this year. Does the center offer assistance in navigating and getting signed up for Medicare? That's a great question. Yes, certainly we do. If you're about to turn 65, and I'm guessing probably getting a lot of solicitations through the mail from insurance companies wanting you to do business with them, you can contact us here at the center, and we can help you figure out what information is important, what steps you need to know, and or need to take as far as getting current with Medicare. Any other questions for me today? Again, I'll just remind you, if you don't have any questions now, but you want to contact me later, you can see along the bottom of the screen my telephone number, 214-525-6172. I do provide one-on-one insurance counseling, and you can also text me at that phone number, 214-525-6172. All right, I have another question. Thank you so much. The question, how do you determine if whole life or term insurance is a better fit? That's a great question. And we discussed that earlier, the difference between the two. Term life covers you for a certain period of time, and then once that time expires, the policy goes away. So you pay your premiums while the policy is active, and then you stop paying premiums, and then the policy just disappears. Whereas with whole life, you're paying premiums over a certain number of years, and that can build up a cash value. So I think a good way to look at it is with again with the emphasis on life insurance is about protecting those who are financially dependent upon you. And so especially when it comes to term insurance, term life insurance, in most cases you're covering the period of time when you are at your how should we say it, most financially vulnerable per se, when you've got, for example, you're trying to raise a family, you have a mortgage that you're paying, you have education that you want to pay for your family, you have car payments, you've got all these different things that go into having a family, having a regular job, paying you a good income. That's where term insurance can come into play. It can cover you during that time when you have all of those things in play. After a certain amount of time, those things may go away. You no longer have a mortgage. You no longer have to pay for education for your children. Your financial dependents drop off. They become financially sustaining. They sustain themselves. So that's where this type of coverage can come into play. Whereas, again, like I said, whole life, it has a death benefit, but it also has cash value. So if you're interested in building up a cash value attached to the life insurance, that may be the way you want to go. So that's really the difference between the two. And I think you just have to look at your individual situation to determine what's going to be best for you. So thank you for that great question. I hope that information was helpful. All right, I'm seeing some very nice comments from our attendees. I appreciate your feedback and your comments. Again, it's great. We just found out that today was National Insurance Awareness Day, and it was perfect timing. Again, we wanted to alert you to this emerging type of insurance fraud, or insurance scam, ghost brokering, and as well as just, again, I find that when it comes to insurance, so many people get so stressed and anxious about insurance, again, wanting to make sure that they're asking the right questions. They don't talk to the wrong person. They're afraid of talking to the wrong person, because then afraid of getting into a situation that they can't get out of. And so you don't have to worry about that if you come to the Elder Financial Safety Center. Whoever you talk to is going to be the right person. They're going to either help you directly or connect you with the person here that can answer your questions or help find you the right resource. Okay. So again, I appreciate you all taking the time to a little bit of time in your out of your day today, a Monday. Mondays can be stressful unto themselves, and so having a Monday talking about insurance, oh my gosh, that just you can see the stress building up. But hopefully the stress level has gone down after this session today. So I know it has for me. My stress level has gone down tremendously as we've gone through this. So, and just knowing you all are out there listening has helped me, and plus your feedback has helped me as well. So I thank you for that. Any other questions for today's session? This Facebook Live thing is not so bad. So I hope it's been good for you.
Very good. Very good. Carl, you did an awesome job. Thank you for letting me participate as your technical assistant.
Christina, I appreciate you so much. You are the guru for Facebook Live.
Oh, wow.
And just having you as my guardian angel for Facebook Live out there has been so beneficial.
Thank you. I'm glad I could help, and I can't take all the credit because, believe it or not, Shannon Gore helped me. So it's the gift that just keeps, helping everybody.
So you were just paid it. You were just
I
paying
just
it forward.
Paid it forward.
There you go. Well,
absolutely.
I guess it's my turn then, as
That's
far as
it.
the next newbie to Facebook Live. So.
All right. Well, Carl, if there aren't any additional questions or comments, Senior Source family and friends, we appreciate you being here. Carl, I'm going to hand it over to you to close us on out.
All right. Well, again, I'm just going to go real quickly over some of the takeaways from today. Today was all about, first of all, reviewing your existing insurance, making sure that it is appropriate for your current needs, because sometimes we buy insurance at a point in our lives and then we kind of forget about it, we keep it going, but as we go through life, our needs change, our lifestyle changes. Is that insurance that we bought 20 years ago, is it still appropriate? So it's important to review that, as well as we've made you aware of an emerging type of insurance scam. Uh, be aware of that, and then other forms of fraud or scams as well. Just in general, what we're seeing out there in terms of fraud and abuse and exploitation. We're seeing romance scams. We're seeing robocalls. You're seeing text messaging, people wanting to make a cash offer for your home. And I know you just want everybody, we all just want these to go away. And you can do that. You can delete, you can put your name on a do not call registry list. But that's really only going to help when it comes to those companies that follow the rules and follow the do not call registry. I mean, the companies, these people that don't follow the rules, they're not going to pay attention to that, and they're going to continue to try to harass you and you know um, get you to into an uncompromising or a compromising type of position. But just remember this. Here's good advice. If you don't know who the person is that's trying to contact you, either by phone, by email, by text, don't respond. Just do not respond. They'll go away. It's a numbers thing for them. They'll move on. The minute you respond to their phone call, email, text message, you've increased your chances of becoming a victim. And so just don't do that. Just do not respond. That's the best approach when it comes to dealing with scams and fraud and abuse. Okay, so that's one thing I really want people to take away from today. And then I hope you've learned that the Elder Financial Safety Center is a safe place for unbiased, expert, professional information, education, and advocacy. So I'm going to leave you with that last note, and we're going to end today's broadcast. And I thank you all for your time today, and I look forward to hearing from you in the future. All right? Again, 214-525-6172. You can contact me directly by phone or by text message. Thank you all. Have a great rest of your Monday.